place. Good
Okay.
Lord.
Grand Rising,
All
yo.
right.
It is,
Grand Rising family.
it is Pay It Forward Friday, or in my case, Pay It Forward Friday. Yay!
Now who's excited about the day?
Oh, you
All
can
right, all
tell.
right. Well, you know, it's not that I'm not excited, babies. I just got to get my little text straight so we can all do this. You know what I'm saying?
Mmm.
Grand Rising, everybody, and welcome to Pay It Forward Friday, where we at P2G and Breakfast with the Thomases make it happen.
Mm.
So, with that, let's
Let's get
talk about what
started.
we doing. What we doing?
First of all, it's going to be a great weekend. It's been a lot of fun. But I
Mm-hmm.
want to tell people right off the bat.
You want to tell them who you are first?
Oh, yeah, excuse me. I'm not about to go back and come to you live one gram at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. I almost
And
forgot.
of course, I'm a Ruby Thomas. I'm not coming to you one gram at a time. I'm a Ruby Thomas. I'm your girl who's always your world here at P2G as well as on a Breakfast with Thomas because I am the Thomas. I am a Thomas. Yeah.
Yep, she
All
is
right.
a Thomas,
I'm a
but not the Thomas. But it's okay. She's my Thomas.
Thomas. And you know how we get down. We're here to give and share and also learn and receive information, education, application, so that we can apply things and we can elevate. And I know I'm looking a little weird right now, y'all. I know y'all like she in and out. Where's she
Mm,
at? I gotta figure this light out because it's
mm.
getting on my nerves.
That's
All
just
right.
weird. Let me shut the windows.
No, no, it's okay. Trust me. I don't know what's happening with this, but I don't care because we got stuff to do, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
We came here for a purpose, and as beautiful as this wonderful face is, Lexi. Mm, mm, that's not why y'all here. So we're about to get it going. What's happening in your refrigerator, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
let's take a look. We got some information. We want you to stick around and get this info, but we need to have a conversation. I don't put out we don't put out a bunch of who shot John. This is not one of those gossip shows, and it's not going to be the conversation that doom and gloom and oh my goodness, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. That's not where we at.
Well,
We are
resolution.
about resolutions and creating ways of moving on and upward together. So if you're willing to hang out for a minute and maybe get some new ideas, listen, write down your notes, and come back to a conversation, not a lecture. We love you.
Mm,
We'll see you in a minute.
all right.
I want you to think about your own bills for a moment. Your grocery bill, your insurance, how much you spend on utilities. You already know that they've gone up. You don't need a government report to tell you that. But very soon, there will be a day where you turn on the news and they're going to tell you that not only is inflation under control, but that it's actually come down so much that they've hit their target. And when that day happens, I want you to remember this video because right now they are preparing to change the way inflation is measured. And this is something I called before Kevin Warsh took over the Federal Reserve. So a few months back, I came on this channel and I told you that Kevin Warsh, despite all this posturing and all of the noise around him fighting inflation, wasn't going to fight inflation. Instead, he was going to redefine it, which is exactly what's happening right now. So today in this video, I want to make sure we understand what exactly is happening and how it impacts you, because this is not just another report or an abstract policy decision, but this is something that will impact every American household. Now, in case you missed it this week, the Bureau of Economic Analysis is reworking how it calculates price rises, which is a funny sentence when you think about it, because recalculating price rises, well, if a price rises, doesn't it just rise? Apparently not. In a move that is expected to lower recent readings of PCE inflation. Now, as a reminder, when we measure inflation, there are two main measurements that we typically hear about on the news. One is the headline PCE, which hit a 3-year high of 4.1% in May, while the core measure rose to 3.4%, both well above the Fed's 2% target. Now, what I want to be clear about is that this does not actually lower prices for you or I. The prices are going to stay the same or keep rising. all it does is change the way that inflation is measured and therefore how the Federal Reserve can respond to it. So here, Alan, an economist at UBS and former Fed inflation researcher, says, quote, the fact that it moves inflation closer to the Fed's goal should make it easier for them to not hike rates. This quote should make everyone pause because this is some scary stuff, okay? Moves inflation closer to the Fed's goal. Inflation did not get moved closer to the Fed's goal. They changed the measuring stick. That's what they're planning to do. It's like if you step on a scale, you don't like the number you see, so you step off, tweak it 10 pounds, and get back on. I mean, at the end of the day, the weight didn't change, right? The reading might have changed, so it looks like you achieved your goal, but you ultimately didn't. It's the same thing here with inflation. They're just being more brazen about the fact that they're going to be outright lying to us. I mean, imagine you live in a world where they're telling you that inflation is coming down, yet you're standing in line at the grocery store and prices are rising on new digital tags, tick, 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 up, 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 up. I mean, the first thing that popped into my mind was George Orwell's 1984, right? The Ministry of Truth going back and changing the records, right? It doesn't actually change what happened. It doesn't change the truth, but it's changing the official numbers and telling everyone these are the numbers, therefore it's true. But right or wrong, let's talk about the why. Why would they go through all of this trouble, change the way inflation's measured, if they want to cut rates that badly? Well, it comes down to the fact that the United States is almost $40 trillion in debt. But it's not just the size of the debt that's the issue. It's the interest on the debt. More than half of what we're borrowing right now is just going straight to servicing the debt, just the interest on the debt, more than defense, more than Medicare. We're talking big numbers, over $1 trillion a year with no signs of slowing. That accelerates the debt doom loop that the United States is stuck in. So when rates remain high, two things happen. Now, number one, right, it slows down borrowing in the economy. There's obviously a lot of pressure to lower rates so that companies and mortgages and everything else can go back to normal, right? This era of low or near zero rates. But the second thing is that when rates remain high and inflation continues to remain high, what happens to the bondholders, the ones actually holding the US debt? Well, they get more nervous about holding said debt because the dollar is clearly depreciating in value. And if they're going to get paid back, they want to make sure they get paid back properly. So they demand higher rates of return, right? Those are the bond yields that continue to hover around 5% for the 30-year treasury. Now, the last time consistently we saw that 5% was back in 2007. But at that time, the US debt was closer to $8.5 trillion. So if US debt has 6x'd since then, what does that mean for the amount of interest we're paying? This is where the United States is in a sticky situation. They have to regain confidence by telling everyone that inflation is coming down. What's the easiest way to do that? Well, they can't really fight it, so they're just going to change the numbers. None of the things that the Federal Reserve is doing is looking out for you. And maybe you already knew that, but maybe you needed to hear that because there's been a lot of optimism from people. I continue to see optimism that somehow this time is different. And what I think we need to do is remember that the Federal Reserve was not created with your or my intentions at heart. This is for the central bankers, the elite, those at the very top. And they have been transferring wealth from the many to the few since the creation in 1913 by devaluing the dollar. Every time your dollar loses its purchasing power, that wealth doesn't disappear. It merely changes hands from the many to the few in a process that has been going on for over 100 years, but that is rapidly accelerating. What they are trying to do right now is just to keep that debt machine running longer. And listen, I get it, because if that breaks, right, if bond yields actually absolutely surge and we can't keep up with the financing and the United States defaults on its debt, right? Now we have a crisis even bigger than the inflation that we're staring down the barrel of, but it's really a lose-lose. Because at the end of the day, they're always going to choose to save the system. But by doing so, we are going to see inflation continue to increase and not just piddle along, right? We're going to see prices seriously rise in a way that's going to be far worse than what we've experienced so far. That's my honest take. I want to hear from you. Do you agree with my opinion on this? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think inflation is going to get worse? Do you think it's going to get better? I want to hear from you. Do you trust the Fed and Kevin Warsh is the new chair, that somehow things are going to be different this time? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Because for me, what this tells me is that they are giving up on inflation. They understand that they can't put the genie back in the bottle. Instead, they're just going to do what they can to save the system and try and calm everything down in the meantime, to squeeze more juice out of the lemon for as long as they can. But ultimately, that is going to hurt you and I. That's going to hurt everyday Americans. And my best advice to anyone out there watching is that if you understand this is what's happening right now, and you know what that means for what's coming next, for inflation in the future of the US dollar and any dollar denominated assets, right? We're talking about annuities, stock market, anything you have that touches the dollar is going to be at risk. Those who are going to come out the other side of this in a better position, right, protected and able to scoop up assets at a fraction of the price with their wealth not only intact, but prosperous, those are going to be the ones who hold real physical assets, such as physical gold and silver, right? Your gold and silver ETF will not protect you in this scenario the same way that the real deal will. But if you hold dollar denominated assets and you understand what's coming next, you're going to be in a really tight spot, because it's going to be harder and harder to outrun this, especially as time continues to go on. Now, if you don't already own gold and silver, or you do, but you want a second opinion to make sure you're positioned properly, that's what we do here at ITM Trading. You can always call us at the number below. Give us a call. Talk to one of our expert analysts. They are happy to help answer any questions you might have. They study this, currency resets, currency life cycles throughout history. And that is what we are here to do, is help you. So call us at the number below if you have any questions at all, or you want to understand how we can help you. And in the meantime, it's going to be a scary situation. Not that any of us can really trust the headlines as is, but just know that you are not alone. Just know that when your bills are going up, when you see these price tags rising, you're not crazy, you're sane. Keep fighting the good fight. Hang in there. We're all in this together. And in the meantime, thank you so much for being here. I'm Taylor Kenny with ITM Trading, your trusted source for all things gold, silver, and lifelong wealth protection.
All right, family. All right, family.
Taylor Kenny, loving that.
Thank you.
Loving that. Great information, everybody.
ITM Trading.
Great information. And that's, I mean, what do you think? You know, she wants to know what you think in the comments. I want to know what you think in the comments about this.
I'm really at a point where
You know, I hate to say, but this reminds me of one of the. So look, I most of my life I've been plus size. Matter of fact, all of my life I gotta say I've been plus size. I'll be really honest. And I remember a brand changing the number, how the
yes.
scaling of women's plus size clothes went. So instead of starting from the actual size 14 you were, they went to a 14 was a size 0. They turned a 14 plus wide women size to a 0. And every 2, so I could be a 2 and I'd actually be a 16.
Mm-hmm.
I could be a 4, a size 4, and I would actually be I'd be 18.
And that was a mental game.
That was a mental shift. They call that body positivity. I call that smoking mirrors to make money, to sell
Yes.
big people clothes. Trying to make
Yes.
women feel bigger, who are
Feel
bigger, better about being bigger. See, but the fact of the matter is, there was nothing wrong with that. See, I didn't mind facing my truth and looking for my sizes. If I was a 24, size down 24W, then I was a 24W and I was getting my 24W. I'm not a size 12, y'all. I, d- I don't need the mind game. You know what the problem with the mind game is?
It
We
doesn't
were
matter.
already in a bind for not being that small. When we started getting those numbers, we thought we could get bigger and it'd be okay. So that actually works the opposite direction to
Yeah,
you improving your health.
it actually did. You should have. The, there was a whole moment. We're not going to go off topic, but there was a whole crisis where that's when right after they did that, they started having these conversations about body imaging lawsuits, and they started with the department stores,
Mm-hmm.
and then it went to social media, and body image became a real thing and a real concern
Yep.
because they tried to deceive the truth. They lied about it. They didn't try to deceive. They
I'm
just
about to
plain,
say you trying to be
they
nice.
plain, they plain
You
straight up
trying to be
lied.
nice. You
You
trying to be
know,
nice, y'all.
hello, brother. Kevin Walsh is doing this. Kevin Walsh, the Federal Reserve chair, is doing exactly
Okay.
the same thing.
Yes. Yes.
And this is like saying
Yeah, he was never gonna go in and do anything different. He was just they're gonna figure out a new way
to
to
make
get to
the
to get to the same
yeah,
goal.
they're not trying to destroy the system.
Like guys, look, let me share something. We've been in this game before, just literally a couple of years before the um the pandemic. When I say game, I'm talking
Yeah.
about the other side. We've been in and involved with financial literacy, and I mean on a real scale, not on the go to your bank and get a new paper product or go take out this or go get this and go get that. No, baby, we've been figuring out exactly what the moves are, what the pieces look like, what what money is and what money's not. We've been
Exactly.
finding truth in our everyday lifestyle. So see, thing is we got involved with that before the pandemic because we already saw this game going on. See, this is a different game. The pandemic was a level. You understand what I'm saying? That was an unexpected level. But when you was but if you got ready before the pandemic, you was ready, you rolled straight through. If you
Mm.
wasn't ready, you were like confused and kind of lost in the matrix of it all and wondering where's it going to all go. You got a lot of people that committed suicide
Very much
during the
so.
pandemic because a lot of people were dying. People created fear. Who would the pandemic benefit? Not you, not me, not on people on the ground.
The people dealing with the issues never
You
were
understand?
are never the intended target for resolution. They're the casualty of war that
Now,
they put in
I
place.
just want to make sure we understand something. This is not a conspiracy theory.
No,
I'm not saying that some government organization, blah 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 blah. Y'all run on that on your own,
yes,
okay? What I'm saying is, on the grand scale, who do major disasters actually benefit overall? Who comes back, snaps back, and is stronger from that? It's not the individual, which is why you have to mind your own business
mm,
now, why you have to stay in your lane now, why you need to be focused on securing and shoring up, and why you have to keep your eye on the real prize, on how the powers that be see the economy, not your neighbor. You pay attention to what you doing in when you dealing out your money, not your neighbor, not the one going to work talking about that 9 to 5 grind. I don't like this, I don't like that. Baby, you better start working on changing your
yeah.
neighbors.
You need to. I'm sorry. I'm going to say this out loud. You need to love your grind until you can do something better.
There you go. Not only
Love
that, look, I'm gonna be honest. Your grind. Now you got me saying that. I can't stand that word.
whatever your job
We
is.
don't grind, and you don't grind. If you gonna call yourself a wealth builder, someone who's building a future, someone who has something more going on, you cannot be grinding yourself in your life. I'm sorry. To
Yeah,
grind means to break
yeah.
down and to literally ground into the ground. Do yourself a favor. Stop. We got to change that mentality.
I
So that
go.
conversation got to
So
change.
we're gonna
I
drop that
never
word.
use that word. Mr. Thomas is still retraining his brain, and I'm just letting y'all know that you're going to see this difference. I had took a while for me to break it, but I got there because I came home first. Y'all see how that works? The language. People have to, and this is what I love. Don't force your spouse. Please do me a favor. I don't want to hear no more about nobody else coming to me talking about, but what if this person that I love ain't in it? Don't worry. This ain't about them. See, I ain't talking about your relationship. I'm talking about your money. And if you ain't about your money, then you letting your relationship get in the way of your money. That's a problem that I don't have. Y'all get that? Because I refuse to have nothing with him. Y'all get me? I refuse to have nothing with him because it's not his responsibility whether I have something or not. It's mine. Ladies, my gentlemen, I don't care where you live, what you doing. This is for you. If you ain't got no savings, you ain't got no future. I don't want to hear we. I don't want to hear no W we. I don't care if you've been married for 100 years.
Relationships are in French.
Thank you. My darlings, if you don't have your own account, then what you doing?
If you don't have your own account, get one.
If he don't have his own account, then what
Get
you
one.
doing? Y'all in the wrong position in life. You know, I hate to say it, but you got all these lovely novellas going on where people out there talking about, oh, they're living through somebody else. And the ones that are so triumphant are the ones who figure out all I had to do is take care of myself.
Hey, Carla.
Guess what? In your relationship, you must still take care of yourself. I don't want to hear how he don't this and he don't that. Well, then he don't and you do, so you got. So hush up and keep moving.
The, there's gonna in a relationship, you're always gonna realize. First of all, relationships are never evenly yoked. I don't care what anybody tells you.
Well, yeah, because
It's never.
everybody brings something to
Everybody
it.
brings different.
You gotta bring you.
You
You
have to.
can't bring half of him.
No,
You
you
can't
can't.
bring half of her.
Okay, no problem.
I hope not.
Go ahead.
You brought a half of somebody.
I brought a half a sandwich to the table when we had breakfast, but I had. Um, ladies and gentlemen, just understand this. Like I was saying, you are
Evenly
not
yoked.
at the breakfast table
Mm-hmm.
in life. You're never equally yoked. But you have to bring 100% of who you are to the table. And if there's something that your partner can show you to enhance you, don't turn a blind eye to it, because it may be then between you being who you are to becoming the person you can be. And if you choose not to listen, that's on you. But don't have a conversation of we are where we are because he didn't do something or she didn't do something. You didn't do what you chose to do, and that's all it really is.
And I think what happens is it comes back to not coming in whole. Y'all got to be whole. This is a conversation for being completely whole and aware. When Alvin and I talk, Mr. Thomas, that's my Alvin. He always gonna be my Alvin. So when Al and I talk, or we get into these little conversations around our subject matter, we have different places we come from. That's why this conversation, and this you should always bring your
Yeah.
place that you come from. That's a conversation.
And you don't have to agree.
You don't. In the end, you don't have to agree. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. And then be accepted for your, your point of view, your
Mm.
opinion. Now, for me, it's about workability. It's about what works. If one person is doing something that works and the other person is doing something that doesn't work, in my opinion, just gotta let them experience it. You understand where I'm coming from?
My mom called it hard head, soft ass.
Hey, hey,
Oh,
hey.
sorry.
Okay, y'all know what we're talking about. Okay, that is the truth, though. The very truth of it all is that you're gonna learn. I had to, it's so weird. I'm a parent. I'm a child, and I'm a parent. I had a parent, and I've been a parent of a child. And in something, I learned why my mother let us, and I say that she let us after she told us a couple of times. She said, "I ain't telling them no more. I'm gonna let them." Cause like my mom, like he said, our mom said, a hard head makes a soft tail. It works that way in every level of your life. The man who doesn't treat his woman well, if you want to cheat, what have you, you're going to miss that good woman. The woman who does the same or doesn't treat their husband well or their man in their life well and doesn't show that they want them to be there, guess what? You're going to miss them.
They won't be there.
That's that same sub. That's that same process.
It
A
is.
hard head. Now, when we talk about relations, how about this? The person that doesn't do right by their finances, guess what you're gonna miss?
Your finances,
Yeah, resources.
you
You
know,
don't grow and take care of your property, and you don't grow those trees up in your neighborhood. Oh, guess what? You're gonna miss.
oxygen.
Thank you. You're gonna miss
Mm.
everything that the resources God has placed in your life has brought you because you were not a good custodial of them. You didn't take care of them. And y'all know who knows y'all not good custodials, first of all and foremost? The
Yeah,
government.
they already know.
They already know you're not a good custodian of your resources. So they tell you, don't worry. We got custody of
Yeah.
you and
And we're gonna
all
take
you
ours
have.
first.
And so we know to take ours first. We
Uncle
know
Sam.
that we need our percent first. So don't worry, you ain't never gonna miss it. Now, Miss Ruby, what you talking about? What I'm talking about is taxes. Taxes don't come out after, unless you know you're a business, unless you're independent and signed up that way,
Uh-huh.
unless you go and do paperwork to take responsibility and be responsible. And then, and only then, can you master the format in which taxes are managed in your life. But before that, they don't trust you. They think you are infant, you are a child, and you are a child of your state. And they say, first and foremost, we got you. We gonna get our little money. Don't worry, we got the budget. We got the budget. You go ahead and do it. The rest is yours. Do what you want with that. And they already know what you're
Correct.
gonna do with it.
As soon as you get your first piece of honest employment, I'm gonna
Mm.
say it that way. The first thing they hand you is a W-4 form, so you can fill out, they can complete your W-2, so Uncle Sam can take his share right off
Okay,
the top.
but what happens after they take their share? What do they expect right off the bat?
You not to do anything else but spend, spend, spend.
Thank you. They already know that you're
Yeah.
going to spend yourself into debt.
Yeah.
They already are aware of the system they created.
I think about it. Every time we have this conversation, and I think back to the very first job I had. I thought I was a big wig. I was living large. I had made $3.10 an
Okay, okay,
hour.
back in the day, you
Back
know what
in the
I'm
day,
saying? That was
I'm doing it.
decent.
I
Come
thought
on,
I was
get it some.
balling. I
Yeah.
was balling. Lady, when I came home, ma, here's some money. Bro, here's something for your pocket. And at the end of the week, I'm really like, wait a minute, where did all that money go? And then my
Yeah.
mom sitting in the corner cracking up. She's like, what happened? I said, Ma, I went to work this week, and I'm back to the next week, and I'm down to my last $10.
Mm-hmm.
She said, really?
Mm-hmm.
But you were balling. You were balling Monday when you came home. You
Mm-hmm.
gave me money, which okay. You
Of
gave your
course she was
brother.
cool with that.
You gave your brother money.
Ooh.
You gave your aunt some money. Auntie said she didn't need it, but she held on to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is Friday. You're back again Friday, and you're down to $10, and you're wondering
Mm-hmm.
where all the money went.
Right.
Think about it. She said, "I'm not going to tell you that. Just think about it. See what happened."
We
But
call
there's a
that the
lesson.
look good.
That's a look good.
We call that the look good. The problem is that you guys look good, smell good, but you still broke.
Still broke.
Y'all get it?
I didn't know I was broke.
You look good, you smell good, but you still broke. It's time to stop playing the game. Because the game is starting to shift to make, they're getting ready to shift the visual in the matrix, y'all.
Oh God, they're gonna shift it.
They're about to shift the matrix look so that you get the visual. I'm sorry, for those who are not savvy enough.
And those who didn't come in at the
Those who are
beginning,
not sophisticated enough will make it seem like, don't worry, inflation's not so bad. It's actually down. When nothing changed. And as a matter of fact, everything is still going up. There has to be an illusion before the shift.
and that's perfect because what you said is you pretty much what you're telling people. The scale is going to look a lot different,
It's gonna look nicer. They're gonna make that scale look like you like.
and you feel you going your personal
And you gonna go get them
heart.
Oreos.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
what you
much.
gonna do. You gonna go get them Oreos.
That's
Because
ridiculous.
you think you lost weight. You can have that ice cream. You can have them Oreos. You can have that hoagie.
We're talking about the
Now,
U.S. government
wait,
doing
wait,
it.
wait. Because you think that things got better, You can have that TV. You can have that new car payment. You can have that new house
You
that you
think.
because you were told, oh, it really doesn't mean that. This is what the numbers look like. And you know where they show up? It shows up at your banker when you're getting a loan.
Yes.
It shows up at places where you get financing from. It shows up in your current contracts where interest rates have changed. Ooh, right?
And you will see it. You'll see the change on paperwork,
Uh
but you
huh.
will not see it in the media. Because the media is telling you to tone it down. It looks good. Everything is great. We're better off than we've ever been. The numbers of inflation is going down, and inflation is going down. Employment's going up, and the reality is nothing really changed.
Nothing's. No, actually, it did. It got worse.
Oh yeah, it did that, but
It got worse
and it got worse.
because now you have to try to make it. You got to try to make it happen, even when the numbers look better, and it's harder to do that. Y'all get that? When the numbers look better, who are they changing the numbers to look better for? Y'all know?
Come on, think
Who
about it.
knows it? Who is the federal government or the Treasury? Can't say federal government. Who is the Fed changing the numbers for? Is it for you and me? No, because we don't. You got bonds? Anybody got bonds? Anybody buying bonds from places? Good investment, right? By the way, this is not financial. This
No,
financial literacy, not financial advice. Go find out about bonds because we're gonna help you do one thing. When we meet up on Wednesday, we talk about long term gains and we talk about short term gains. We talk about different certain things in your life right now and what you could be doing with what you have. Because this is about pennies to gold.
yes,
It's about short term, small investments to build into over time.
long-term gains.
This is about the habits that you keep. Because the problem is not how much you have. The problem is how much you keep. That's where the conversation about taxes. I'm not tax advice, but I do know that there is a distinct difference between tax employment taxes and business taxes.
Yep.
And a business, just to let you know, I've noticed that it costs about what, $100 to start a business, LLC.
Give or take, depending on where you live at.
Yeah, about $100. Start an LLC and change your whole world. But y'all got that right. Would you rather keep giving? And does anybody know that most people give up about 40%, anywhere between 40 to 45% of your income? That's how much you pay in taxes overall.
Because you pay
I just
double.
got to ask you a question. If they cut your check by half, would you be more upset if they just automatically and said, no, you don't make $32 an hour, you make $15 an hour? Off the bat, just said it out loud.
You put your pen down, and walk out the door.
Yeah, but they let you look at the big number.
And
Oh, you make $32 an hour. Don't worry. By the time that comes to your hand, what does it look like?
it looks more like 18.
Anybody did? Yeah,
It looks more
anybody
like
did the
$18 an
math?
hour.
Yeah.
Because you have all these, what do they call them?
But they're depending on you not doing the math.
Everything that comes out.
Similar to when you go to a restaurant. See, what we're talking right now about is we're talking about mentality, your
Real
awareness,
world
your
mentality.
presence to what things cost. People don't look at receipts when they go to restaurants. You look at the receipt,
I
but
do
you
now.
really don't do the math around what you just paid the people who served you the food you paid for already. Did you know that the price of your service already was supposed to be covered in the price of the food? That's why Japan, China, and places in Asia are dis up. They get very upset if you try to give them a
Yes.
tip.
Because you think you
It's
don't.
an insult to give a tip in certain other countries. Do you know why? Because it makes their corporate, because restaurants are corporate, run by corporations, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Restaurants are run by corporations, even here. Your restaurant is a business. And if your business has 18 to 20%, you're paying someone to work for them. You just got money to burn. Oh, by the way, the ones that get upset are the workers themselves because they're getting they signed up for a raw deal. Only do know that the laws have changed since. They're required to be met. If their tips don't hit there, they already get paid at
Mm-hmm.
minimum wage. I've gotten all kinds of, I've worked in such and such. Y'all better start looking at the laws around what you're due to pay, because a gratuity
Mm-hmm.
is up to you. It's not mandatory.
It's a courtesy.
It is a courtesy. Oh, and when they serve five people and they automatic instant to a
And
table,
automatic gratuity.
illegal. Illegal. Oh, that's because they're serving this many people. No, not happening. Because if you got five tables, one person each, you don't get a gratuity that's
Mm.
mandatory. Yeah, we don't think like this, do we? Instead of fighting for higher rates and level pay, they just take it out of our pocket. The business actually is doing that. Keep that in mind, by the way, because the business is required to hire people, which are expenses. I want you guys
Yep.
to learn this.
You
A
know,
business's employee are part of their expenses.
that's the overhead. You heard it before.
So that's why y'all need to come. Look, I'll be honest.
Look,
Bring your tail to Friday, to Sunday, Saturday night. Saturday night is gonna be an interesting conversation. That's our event for our status correction. We want to teach you how this money works in this country. We gotta teach you how what money is, what money's not, and show you firsthand. I'm not gonna tell you nothing. I'm gonna show you where everything is.
let me
We
ask
gonna
you.
sit down and show you that you got more power than you give yourself. But the problem is you don't know how to access it.
I got a question for you guys. Let's have a real quick conversation with all the people who are in the room watching. Can someone write in the chat what money is? Real quick. Just take a moment. Write what money is.
Stop. Touch.
Hi, Carl. I see you there. If you know what money is, put it in the chat because I'm curious because we all have a different understanding what money is, but do you know what it truly is?
All
Do
right.
you?
So don't start no conversation because this man's big. He's big on rabbit holes. Y'all don't start him up. Take you down the matrix in a whole minute. Look, straight
Uh,
up. You want to have in-depth conversations about the things that are really going down out here. And no, I'm not. We not getting into hypothetical because I'm so done with that. We're not getting in. What we need to do is we're getting in what you gonna do now. If you are in a mode of your life right now where you ready to do something about what's to be done, it's time to do it. Let's go.
get it done.
Let's go. That's all there is. Now, there's a lot of things going on right now. We've got to learn how to manage processes. We got to learn how to manage this new technology. Not be afraid of it. Use it. Get to some things that we're doing. I am having a ball with AI. I don't know how many of y'all.
Love.
I, I'm like I'm watching stuff get faster that I'm doing,
We
and
had
it's
an
actually
AI party
enhancing.
last night.
Yes, we did. Oh my God. I woke up this morning going, "Oh, I gotta fill that file because AI said it could do this,
Mm.
and I'm gonna test it today." you know, I'm
Gotta
like,
test the theory.
I'm like a kid in a candy store with technology because now I'm using tech to speed up the process. What are you using tech for? Are you entertaining yourself? Is that what it is? Are you wasting time? You chatting? You gossiping? What? You doing business? How many of y'all are now speeding up the process of your profits coming in because you now are using not just AI but technology in general the right way?
Mm.
How many of y'all are turning your phones into kind of a virtual ATM? How many of y'all know that the money is digital and we need to go figure out how to turn it into something other than what someone else says in numbers?
Numbers on the screen.
The reason we had this conversation about what's really going down out there in with the Fed is because that's your money system. Those are the people who run your money system where you live.
Understandably, you gotta understand the one thing. What when they talk about inflation and the numbers and the wealth shift that's gonna play, they're only referring to a few
Did you say
people.
Ghana?
And I
Ghana?
think that is happening. Excuse me.
It's only
That is
happening to
happening.
right. It's only happening right now for few.
Yeah.
Mr. Thomas,
And then yes,
are you included?
I'm moving.
No, I said, are you included in the wealth shift?
I got my tablet, my wealthy information.
What does that mean?
That means simply I am doing this. I am taking the steps to move things direction they need to move. Because I am not allowing me not to be counted in the 2% town.
Oh, it's two now.
I'm saying 2 because I'm gonna make it 2.
It's two.
I'm
Look,
the one that's gonna make it 2.
I always mess with him. See, one of the things I want to share with you, you can make the choice of which place you land, but you have to do it now. You can't wait. You can't get to it when I open a class in September. You wait till the September class. Good luck. We already in class. See you on Sunday.
Sunday.
I don't play that.
Well, Sunday's information.
See you on Sunday. That D.F.L is for real though. It's digital financial literacy from P2G. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. We get in and we start learning how to grow small amounts, different places that you don't get stuck in their paper game. You use your paper to get physical, and then you build on those assets. You come outside in some areas into places of financials that you understand, that you grow and build and move with full custody.
And I want you guys to remember, we talked early last week. We talked about them controlling the flow of money. We talked about the
Who?
fee.
Who's them?
We talked about the government changing the way they would operate money, and they were talking about the Fed now and CBDC. Understand me? They were talking about controlling the way digital finances go.
Right.
So if you do not
Wait a
change,
minute, slow down. Where's digital finances?
okay, the
Be
one,
specific,
the
because it
digital
ain't all the same.
okay, let me slow it down a little bit. Generally speaking, the finances I am referring to
Mhm.
are the ones that run through the Fed now, where they have employers change the way your finances move. Because if you look at some of the new jobs that come out, people are getting paid via debit card. There's no checks anymore.
Mhm.
A lot of the new companies are handing people debit cards, and the money goes right to the debit card.
If you
That's
don't have
part
a
of the,
bank, they got one for you.
that is part of the
Ain't that something?
that's part of the universal control system.
It is. And that is happening with oh, please don't think it's just your job.
No.
That's happening, now, people who are getting Social Security, y'all don't get no check. You get a actual
No.
card.
Right.
It gets distributed digitally. Because what you can put on a card, you can take off a card now.
Or turn off the card.
Hey, I was just trying to tell you. Digital works just like that. It's about control. So you have to learn how to exist in that digital space as your own custodian.
Outside of the space, for lack of a better term.
Now, I want to make sure we pay attention because all platforms, you guys are willing, y'all are welcome to come and join us and actually ask questions and jump in and even say Grand Rising. Don't forget to say Grand Rising and give people love out here who's on with you. Let us know if this is something that is affecting your life. If you want, like I said, we have free conversations on Wednesdays. We have a free Zoom on Wednesdays. You
Absolutely.
hop in, have fun, come on in and hang out with us.
Ask the questions.
Yes, ask some serious questions. We just had a really good we replayed last week's video and had a good conversation to break it down on having on the AI and the so-called bubble. And just to share with you, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all ain't never heard of a crypto bubble. Be
No.
real. Ain't nobody ever heard of a crypto bubble and you won't. But you got to come to one of our private conversations to find out why. What's the difference? Anybody heard of a blockchain bubble? Never.
Never.
Baby, keep telling y'all playing the wrong games for the wrong reasons, expecting the wrong outcomes. The ones you should be playing are more vast and they have a lot more opportunity, but you keep on what you keep hearing from somebody instead of learning what makes sense for you.
You gotta stop playing in the game, the realm of FOMO. You're not missing out unless you're not paying attention. And if you're
Come
waiting
on
for
in.
someone to bring, if you're waiting for local television news to tell you this is what's happening, so you gotta
Oh,
move
that's
now.
when it's too late.
You
It
have
done happened.
you have missed the boat.
I'm gonna be
Go
really
ahead.
honest. Do not use this. I gotta clarify this real quick.
Mm.
Please do not use the QR code in this flyer. I want you guys just to take the Zoom information down. Y'all take a screenshot, grab a screenshot of this, and make sure you show up. Miss Kim, thank you so much. I just found the right one, so I'll put it in, and you guys will get an updated flyer with the new QR code. But in the meantime, you got the whole Zoom room, ID, the whole nine. No excuses why you can't show up to the conversations
That's it.
that support what you need. Look, Bottom line, you could either be at your job doing what you're doing until and in a real grind, because that's the definition of a grind. When you work until you die with no alternatives to
Mm.
doing what you're doing. If your only answer to your financial situation is to find another job and duplicate the same activity, then you really are grinding. You're doing what Warren Buffett said. If you haven't figured out how to get paid when you sleep, you are working. You will work until you die. Not you might.
You will.
And we're not here to tell you that you're going to save your way to freedom. There are steps, things you have to learn to do, and how to move in the financial space in order for you to start to live more securely, more, easy, and actually be more in control. That's the part that gives you peace of mind.
I don't think.
That's why financial literacy is the key.
I think a lot of times when people think of control, they think of what they have in hand right at this moment. Control isn't what you have in your hand at this moment. Control is
Mm,
what you have, what you create, a process, a system that actually allows you to maintain what you have in your hand,
true, true.
what you have in your hand. Because one of the things, the biggest thing that we have to understand is custody is everything. You've heard the term possession is 9/10 of the law.
That's mostly where they get it from, because they custody your stuff with your permission.
Yeah, you gave them, you signed it, you
Man,
signed it over to them.
they took control of your stuff, and
I
what you
look,
mean? I can't get my
I
money out the
laugh about
bank.
it all the time because I didn't understand this until I actually had to go back to a bank
mm.
and do a new signature card, and for the first time,
What you mean?
I
Here we
read the
go.
back of the signature card. Normally, I just go in and it's like
Uh
give my debit
huh.
card in.
Yep.
When I started learning financial literacy, I stopped for a minute, and the bank
Yeah.
guy said, "What's wrong? Give me a minute. Let me read this." I flipped. I literally, because they sign on the backside. That's where the disclosure agreement is.
Mm-hmm.
And I read it, and he looked at me and said, "What are you doing?" I'm reading the disclosure agreement that you guys have in the back of this car.
Yeah, kind of interesting,
And
right?
he looked at me like no one ever's read that.
It's
And
not
this is
illegal to do.
no.
It's not illegal to
But this is
do.
how I found out literally that the bank is it literally says in layman terms, the
Mm-hmm.
bank is the custodian of all accounts distributed into the business
That's right.
for upkeep,
Thank you.
and you are given
Permission.
point 0.000069
Mm-hmm.
as a reward for access to your funds
Is
being
that what it
custodied.
really says?
Yes,
A reward?
it's a reward.
That's a reward. Oh my God.
And
That's the
I
first time I heard you say that. That's what's up.
and I had no, I never, I read that thing. It hurt. It stuck me because I'm like, huh.
But
And,
okay, with that, I know it would stump you if you read that and you've been doing
and
business and keeping your money rolling through this
and he
institute.
looked at me like, yeah, it's just standard practice. And it was his, his answer.
Oh no, he's correct. It is standard practice. Every bank has the same
Yeah,
disclaimer.
it makes
So if that's what every bank says, does it make it right?
no, it doesn't make it right because you are no longer in possession of your money.
But you don't mind. You agreed. Y'all understand? The contract is on you because you agreed. And they'll tell you if you don't like this, you can remove you just have to take your money out and don't use my bank. Well,
Yeah,
what you gonna do? Gotta ask the question. What
mattress.
where you gonna go? Well, you can't. Honey, that so why wouldn't you store your money in a mattress? Why doesn't it work today?
And we all know the answer why it doesn't work. Come on now.
It doesn't work to store it in a mattress because it'll just lose
Shit.
value, sit there, can burn up.
Literally.
Yeah, physically burn up.
Yeah,
Someone can steal it. You know what I'm
and
saying?
back in the days when people had fires in the house, the first thing they grab is they try to throw the mattress out the window. They throw the mattress out the window because they already know the money.
I'm sorry, that's crazy. I never thought about that really.
What are
I've
you gonna
seen
do? You
it.
gonna throw it out the window?
I've seen it, but I've never thought about it. And all that time, to be honest, I thought they were throwing the mattress out the window because they was gonna jump.
No.
They were trying to soften their flight. Wow, I am so old that I am learning this today. I am 2 day years old that makes sense.
Think about it.
Wow, you learn something every day.
You wouldn't think of it, but like,
Oh my God. But even with that, I want us to start thinking about where we store. What if there's an emergency? Um, what if there's a disaster? You know, we never knew the pandemic was coming while we were saving in gold and learning about cryptocurrency, learning about DeFi, learning about how to custody our finances, then how to build on them. Then, because the world finances shift, it gave value to everything we previously purchased.
yes, indeed.
So there was a growth spurt over something we just decided to save as security. That's happening. That's what the wealthy are doing. You're watching the rats running toward the water, toward the opening,
Mm-hmm.
but you still going the other way toward the fire. Y'all like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Stop trying to understand. Run in the direction of the ones that know where the air is.
Yep. Think of it.
Get running with the ones that are running. And that's a sad shame because, yeah, it's like rats escaping from a ship. You keep going the other way. I guarantee you they're running away from danger while you're running. And they plan that. That's what the
It's
distraction is
instinctual.
about. The distraction is that they want to make sure you don't see which way they're running. You don't want to see that the danger is real because if you do in number, they lose market share. It goes the other way for them.
I wish they could see that video that we shared with the end. I think that is the most powerful explanation you could ever understand.
The ants?
The ants.
Oh, I think we have that. I got you.
Because
Look.
I know every time I see that video, it is such a cruel reminder of
Mm.
how things actually work, and people don't even understand that's the
Mm.
reality of how things work. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you think if you push people a certain way, they're gonna you keep your thumb on them for enough time, no one's gonna rise up. But at one time, someone takes a moment to read and do the research and say, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. You might be able to start one, but when he starts sharing it with people,
Yes. Yes.
when he starts sharing that information with other people, guess what? Now
Mm-hmm.
you have something else going on. Now they're about to, you can't do that to us. Not me, us.
Uh-huh. Exactly. Exactly. So
Mm.
we have it, and I'm gonna hold it. Hold on a second. By the way,
Up to
we got to be careful because this is coming toward the end. We'll show it to you guys a little more toward the end. I don't want to get my stream cut because it's Disney.
Yeah.
Who
And,
remembers? I
and,
wonder if you guys remember Ants, the movie.
and we definitely gonna keep our pictures up on the screen. And say, we don't have permission. We're just using it
So
as
just
a.
to share with you that this is definitely not our content, just to let you guys know, but it's a message we all need to really consider immediately because this is what they say is how the elite work. What makes the elite elite? What makes you who you are? And what changes that? Now that's the conversation we have at P2G. The change, the shift. So let's take a look because we're almost to the end. I want to
Let me
just
do
share
this
a
first.
couple of other events coming up. Remember, we have the two possible futures that comes on Wednesdays. We have a few resolutions and also we have conversations for resources. So I have a few people that are actually connecting in. If you guys need certain information, we're here to connect as a community. Some of you have what each other needs. So in the room, if you say hello, you're going to find and share who you are and what you're up to. You're going to find that people are going to be there looking for you.
Absolutely.
They're going to be there looking for you. This is not an opportunity to hide or go try to, people go, oh, it's for networking. And then all of a sudden you start doing your 2 minute sale. The goal is to get to know you. The only way for people to really do business with you is if they learn to trust you.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen in 2 seconds and then this is your product. Sometimes when you talk about yourself, you don't know how well you're selling what you do. But see, you have to have the conversations. Get in the room. That's our Wednesday. Then we're going to have our Sunday. Our Sunday is a paid class. That's our digital financial literacy. Our actual it's a actual class that happens weekly. This one costs $100 for a month. Okay, it only breaks down if you pay to $25 a month if you pay the monthly. Now we have payment plans. You can break it down. That's not a problem. You got a payment plan. If you can't do it all at once, take the option for either Klarna or the other one, Afterpay
Afterpay.
or Afterpay. You can break the payments down. It's no problem, and your classes will be fully paid for as long as you choose. All right. So that's not even a problem. Now, I'm asking. This is an ask because I want to be able to have more kids. We have about space for 2 children. Guys, I need you all to start realizing it's time to get your act together in your business and start pulling in this new income. You got to get new finances rolling through your business. Do y'all know people walking around with money you can't process?
Yep.
That's the reason why your business is struggling. You don't have that new audience. So come to class and learn how to pull in the new audience. We're going to practice. And for those who have been in our former class, a lot of people don't realize I'm doing this as a bi-weekly series. It's not happening once; it's happening bi-weekly. We were expecting to have this the week before the kids go back on that week, that first week of September, last week of August. It's kind of a two, kind of an into one out of the other. And we wanted to let you know your fees that you pay for your class to learn about this and to get your business started in crypto, building, start that practice. Guess what? Those funds go to funding that class for the students to
Yes,
come in,
indeed. Yes,
to
indeed.
sponsor a child and their family, to learn in our crypto, our P2G, what is it, the P2G crypto,
Young
so
crypto
basically crypto
entrepreneur.
entrepreneurs, but in this case, it's our crypto kids entrepreneur program. I'm really excited. They get to learn some cool things, how to do cool things. Now, we promised you a video and we're going to take you there. But don't forget, our Saturday afternoons, our Saturday evenings, I should say, at 7 p.m., if you hop in, we'll sit down and talk about the rules that exist that help you move ahead. How the law serves you, how the rules serve you, how to be in a place of growth and expansion. Now, I don't know. A lot of y'all think, oh, there's just too much thinking and talking and all of that. Well, you can keep going on the way you doing it until you have no resources left. And it's okay. But we're always going to be here. And we are the beginning conversation. Where you go, the sky is the limit once you know how the foundation works.
Mm-hmm.
Once you know the foundation, especially of financial literacy and basic laws, you can go anywhere you want. Learning how to use resources nowadays, how to tap into them, guess what? You can do whatever you choose because now you know what you're talking about. Remember that they don't know what they don't know. Well,
Nope.
now you'll know. And
Absolutely.
that in that, I want to just share this last message. You know, we pay it forward Friday in so many ways. We love you guys. We want to see you do what you do.
Absolutely.
I want to say one. I want to acknowledge and say thank you to everyone who's been on before we get started. Okay, I want you guys to know that we do this because we care and we're not going to stop because we're building the world that you come to. Y'all hear it? And we see and love you. Hey, Doc Bay, Grand Rising, brother. Love and miss you. Carla, thank you so much for being with us. I appreciate you. Everyone who's on Clapper, Stereo, YouTube, almost YouTube's, come to think of it,
Mm.
LinkedIn, Facebook, and even our Twitch. We love you guys. That's what we're doing. Our brother here, Chris, we see you, babe. He's doing his thing. Our brother is up at 5 a.m. out the streets, handling business,
Yes, yes.
opening up the store.
Grand
You know,
Rising, my brother. Grand Rising.
yes, we love you. We want to see that you all do well. Got it? So you got to take it. You got to take the time to join us. Come to the community where people are welcoming you. And with that, I'm about to share something. I wasn't even a child. This was when the kids was little. This was up when this was going on when the children were little, right?
Okay.
Does that what? Do you remember when A Bug's Life came
Oh
out?
yeah, yes, but they were young.
It's A Bug's Life. Oh no, not A Bug's Life. It's
Ants.
ants. This one's ants. It's two. You know, they're two kids. Disney loves to do that.
Yeah.
But the fact that they did this,
Oh,
yo,
they were.
freaked me out. It is A Bug's Life.
Mm-mm.
It is A Bug's Life. And let me take a look. So, if you've ever seen this, okay, know that there's more than meets the eye in this conversation. I want you to think deep. and I'll see you on Wednesday.
Yeah, but we can forget about him.
Yeah, it was just one ant.
Yeah, you're right. It's just one ant.
Yeah, boss, they're puny.
Puny? Say, let's pretend this grain is a puny little ant. Did that hurt?
Nope.
Well, how about this one?
Are you kidding?
Well, how about this? You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay?
See ya. Wake up and rise up in your eyes. It's breakfast with the Thomases, the ultimate prize. Mental wellness Monday, work it out Wednesday. Pay it forward Friday. We'll season the day. Digital finance, unlearning a love, serving food to what those store. Rising as the beat and it Eastern on P2G TV. Breakfast with the Thomases, come eat